Hello. How are you doing today? I'm doing so very well. I am enjoying this gorgeous weather where I am. It's a little different from the usual. I am visiting some friends and I was just walking to meet them, and I felt it on my heart to share some words with you guys. So welcome into this space with me. Oh, my name's Natalie. I should probably begin a practice of introducing myself when I begin these. Hi, I'm Natalie. Welcome. This space is for you. I'm here holding it, and you're safe here, and you're free to go as well. And I really have on my heart today a deeper understanding of the things that we value in our culture. You know, I'm feeling the sense that now is the time for us to shift our values. And the culture and the broader value system, and then you as a person and your personal value system, those may not always be in perfect alignment. Each of us comes to this life with our own individual purpose and being and desires and all of those wonderful things that make us each unique. But we do all exist in this shared reality. So there is a cultural, societal reality that influences all of us. And at present, in my experience, much of reality has been attuned to place value on production and the creation of goods and the movement of goods and the selling and reselling of goods. And that has absolutely served a wonderful purpose. I feel so blessed even as I talk to you now. I'm using my phone, which is a device that was created many miles away from where I am or where I purchased it. But because of this whole system, this whole value system around production and selling, I am able to use this device to connect with you all. And that's one example of many blessings that we all experience because of these systems. However, the concern that I have been exploring, and my shawl is falling. Fix it. There we go. My concern has been around if we only value production, what value is being placed on our being and our wellness and our existence and time in this life. So I was thinking about, what are the trade-offs? Do we even need to have trade-offs between these two value systems? Valuing people in their essence for who they are, for their existence, and then conversely, or in a different lane, valuing people for what they produce. And often how that has looked like in my life, what I have observed is people are paid for their time. So they receive money for the things they do with their time. Maybe if you really push through that and you begin to create something of your own, then you might be paid for what you create, and you sell what you create, which ultimately does come back to time and effort being invested in the creation of that thing. And while that is wonderful, and that is a path for building a very comfortable life, this focus around exchanging for money, what it does is it depersonalizes your time, our collective efforts. And when we separate our being from what we are creating, then we are devaluing our being. We are devaluing our wellness. And then, to put it bluntly, we die. For all the people I have met, for everyone that I know, this existence within your human body as a human being is finite. And eventually, your body comes to rest in death. And so, what does that mean? What does that mean? Is my life here just to produce value, to produce items and goods and services, to sell and purchase? And I push back on that idea and I say no. I believe my worthiness is separate from my ability to create things of value within our culture. And cultural values do shift and change over time. And that process is happening. But the worthiness of a human life is intangible. It exceeds the era we are in. It exceeds the cultural norms that we exist with. And I know this with all of my heart. I know that you are so worthy. You who are watching this, I am so worthy. Every person that I see and that I meet, every being that I know, is so worthy of love and care and respect and joy and peace. And these things are not finite. They are not limited to a specific amount of time, a specific service, a specific item. So those are some of my reflections there. But what are we going to do about it, guys? What are we going to do about it? Because this is the world that we live in. We live in a world that, in order to exist, requires us to buy into this value system, literally, with our time and with our money. We are investing into this value system that ultimately depersonalizes us and separates us from our own intrinsic worth. And I'm still exploring those answers. I hope you ask yourself that question in your life. But ultimately, what I'm coming to is we must prioritize our kindness towards ourselves and towards one another. Life has no guarantees beyond existence. And when you are living this life, your existence is priceless. 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 We can mitigate risk as much as we want to, but ultimately, no amount of money, no amount of resources, no amount of even influence or power can purchase you 100% safety, because safety is not a tangible thing. Safety is a feeling that we have. It's a feeling that comes from our bodies, and our bodies produce the feeling of safety when we are at ease and when we are comfortable, and ultimately when we have peace. And hence the kindness, guys. You have to be kind to yourself, in my opinion. It's your choice, ultimately. But the kindness feeds the peace, and the peace feeds the sensation of safety. And the sensation of safety allows us to move with continued kindness and compassion towards one another, which brings so much worth into what we are doing that our value systems are forced to shift away from survival and towards life and the celebration of life and all that is wonderful and beautiful and true within this life. I appreciate you joining me today, wherever you are. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I love you so much. You are so worthy of love. Bye.